Happy birthday to Richard Starkey, Ringo Starr, 85 years ago today, July 7th, 1940. Ringo, he looks great. If any of us watching this, right, or me making this, live to look half as good as he does at that age, we'll be doing well. I'm always happy when it's Ringo's birthday, and I think to myself, this is the child that was a sickly child that had all these complications and was in and out of the hospital as a youth, had to miss school, and supposedly one of his relatives called him Lazarus because he kept like rising from the dead. And I think the doctor said to Ringo's mom, he'll be dead in the morning. So anyway, it's so great to see Ringo making it to 85. Well, to celebrate this, I'm going to rank Ringo's albums. Okay, I haven't done this for Ringo in a while, so this is an update. How do I feel about it in 2025? Now, I will say I did a Paul McCartney ranking, Paul McCartney's albums for his birthday last June. You can check that video out. So let's do it. Let me tell you now, I have 21 albums here because what I decided is I'm going to be ranking 21 studio albums for Ringo. I am not going to be ranking any live albums. Now, Ringo has so far, as of this date, he has made 5 EPs. The EPs are not going to be part of the 21 ranking. I'm going to rank the EPs afterward, the 5 EPs separately. That's how I figured I would handle this, okay? So let's start with number 21. These are 12-inch albums, full albums, studio albums by Ringo. Number 21, I have the 1983 album, Old Wave. Now, I know Old Wave is a favorite album of many, many Ringo fans, but to me, it's his worst album. I think the songs are generally pretty weak. Yeah, it's nice to have Joe Walsh there assisting him and everything. The only song that I really, truly love on this album is a cover song. Ringo does a really fun, rollicking version of the song She's About a Mover. And that's the one song I really like on here. I mean, there's a couple of songs I have fun with. Hopeless is a fun track. In My Car. People are always saying In My Car is such a great track. It's okay at best. I mean, I don't love that song. Yeah, this album at the time, Ringo couldn't get it released in the United States nor in UK. This was only released in places like Germany, I think maybe Canada, a couple of places it was released in, some countries other than the US and UK. All right, so now we go to number 20. And for number 20, I chose Ringo's 2015 album, Postcards from Paradise. Postcards from Paradise, you know, the title track a lot of people can't stand because he's basically name checking a lot of songs. Ringo got into this routine where he liked to name check songs. He used the title "It Don't Come Easy" in many, many songs over and over again, and he tends to do that. But I like the title track, actually, Postcards from Paradise, because while it's got Ringo trying to name as many Beatles songs he can come up with in the lyrics, it's done tongue in cheek, and I get the impression Ringo's kind of like, okay, I'm going to go all out for this farce. Since I name check songs all the time, this time I'm just going to name check them, you know, ad nauseum. This is going to like run the gamut. So, but I like that song. I like the song Rory and the Hurricanes. I'm working here without the albums in front of me. I'm going from memory. And there's a couple of songs I also like on here besides that, but I think it's overall a weak offering. Then number 19, which for me could have been flipped. I had a hard time deciding which one was 20 and which one was 19. I picked the 2005 album Choose Love. I know Choose Love is a favorite of many. I think the title track and the first song dropped, Choose Love, is kind of weak. The album has its moments, but to me, it's just not a favorite of mine of 21st century Ringo albums. Okay, number 18. This may be bringing up kind of towards the rear too much for a lot of people. It's the 1970 country album, Bukus of Blues. Um, people love this. They say it's a great country album, and I like it, but it's not among my favorites from Ringo. You can already see I put it ahead of like what, three studio albums of his, right? So it just shows you that I didn't put it dead last or anything. Definitely, the musicians are fantastic on here. I love the title track, "Bukus of Blues," and there's some other tracks here that are good. It's good, strong country stuff. It's not a bad album at all. It's got a good reputation in the past years. Really, it's become a winner in a lot of people's minds for the country genre. Okay, now we go to number 17, Sentimental Journey, Ringo's debut album, where he does American standards. I love the song Sentimental Journey, and I love Bye Bye Blackbird, and I actually like all of it. Again, we're talking about, they got great bands here, great arrangements done here. I think Ringo's Sentimental Journey, at least now looking back on it, is in a lot of ways better and more justice is done to these old songs with his album than compared to Paul's album, Kisses on the Bottom, when Paul tried to do the same. I think Paul waited a little too long, maybe, in his life, and his voice wasn't quite up to it, although Paul's voice actually works in some of the songs as a more aged voice, but we won't talk about Paul's album so much. Ringo's album, Sentimental Journey, is respectable for the material. Well done, well performed, well arranged, produced. And I think Ringo was the first one. Ringo, I think, was the first of the superstars, that superstar with two R's, to actually do this and actually do an album of standards. Okay, now we're going to go to 16. 16, I have Ringo the Fourth. A lot of people would have Ringo the Fourth bringing up at the very end of this, the worst album of Ringo. But I've always found something to like about it. People call it Ringo's disco album. Well, it's not strict disco music. I would say Drowning in a Sea of Love actually is close to it. And there's other tracks that I like on here as well. Gave It All Up is good, although Ringo sings it like he's kind of drunk, and I think he was kind of imbibing and enjoying the booze when he made this. I think it gets a bad rap, perhaps deservedly so in some ways, but at the same time, it's not a total loss. I actually like a lot of the songs on here, believe it or not. I like Can She Do It Like She Dances. Just naming a few tracks. Okay, let's see, 15. Number 15, I went with Ringo 2012. Ringo 2012, the best thing I like about that is it has a version of a song, Wings, which was, I should have mentioned, the song Wings was on the album Ringo the Fourth that I just mentioned. I like that song. Wings is a good song. But he did it in Ringo the Fourth, and I think he improves upon it. On Ringo 2012, Wings is a classic Ringo song. I think it's one of the best songs he's ever recorded. I think he improved upon the 1977 version. And the recording on Ringo 2012 is one of his all-time best tracks, period. Okay, now we go to album number 14. For number 14, I'm going to go with the Christmas album, I Want to Be Santa Claus, with Mark Hudson's help. He's the only Beatle that ever really got to put out a full Christmas album. I break it out every Christmas, every holiday season in December. I have to listen to this. And I enjoy it. I don't think it could have been better, but it could have been a hell of a lot worse. A lot of good tracks here for the holiday, and I have to ring it in every time with Ringo and his boys. All right, number 13 is the 2008 studio album, Liverpool 8. A lot of good tracks on there mixed in throughout. I think it's an album that deserves another listen. People don't kind of disregard a lot of Ringo's albums. This one will really be listened to and enjoyed. The title track, Liverpool 8, talking about Ringo's life, is really a good one. Okay, number 12, I went with Ringo Rama. Ringo Rama is an album that a lot of people hold dear, and it's probably up higher in the rankings for a lot of people. I know people already personally who think Ringo Rama is one of his finest, maybe in the top 5. I don't love it as much as other people do, but Mark Hudson, again, helps on this album. Is really good. And let's see, what do I like off here? Missouri Loves Company. Elizabeth Raines. I'm trying to think of titles from what I remember. Never Without You is a tribute to George Harrison after George's death. Really like that. The album was released in 2003, I think, Ringo Rama. And how about Memphis in Your Mind? That's another good one. Good songs on this album. Number 11, I'm going to go with Give More Love. Give More Love is an album from 2017. It's got Ringo in good form. This is tough when you're trying to remember all the tracks, though. It's a song called King of the Kingdom. And it's got a flavor of Jamaica in there, Jamaican flavor. And I really like that song quite a bit. It's got Wrong for So Long on it, which is a country song, country flavored song, which is pretty good. Standing Still has a little country flavor to it. I'm trying to think what other songs I like. I know I'm missing a lot of good ones. What's the one about is it On the Road Again or something like that? Speed of Sound, maybe? Anyway, Give More Love from 2017 was a pretty good album. Okay, now we got to the top 10. Let's do that. Number 10 is going to confound a lot of people because I know a lot of people would put this near the bottom of the pile. And I've always defended this album every chance I get. It's a 1978 album called Bad Boy by Ringo. And I think a lot of people tend to lump this in with other albums that Ringo did in the later 70s, like Ringo the Fourth and like Rotogravure and things like that. They think it's kind of like as weak as some of those albums. I'm not saying I think Rotogravure is weak. We'll get to that in a second. But some people generally thought Ringo lost it by 76 or 77 and 78. But if you listen to the album Bad Boy again, I think you'll find out that there's a lot of good tracks on here. And Ringo has some up-tempo stuff here, like Who Needs a Heart, Hard Times, very good. There's great songs on here like Lipstick Traces. I love the song Bad Boy, which is a cover song, by the way. I think Ringo does a great job of putting his schmaltzy personality into that. There's a song called Tonight that's really good. There's a cover of the Supremes classic Where Did Our Love Go? That sounds like disco-y, I don't know, high-tech, late 70s corn. You know, it's not really that good, in my opinion. Okay, but Bad Boy, underrated. Then we come to the album I put at number 9. That's what I just mentioned. Ringo's Rotogravure. Never know how to say that exactly. Rotogravure, whatever. Rotogravure. This is an album that's grown on me over the decades. I mean, I had it low for many years. But again, Ringo's got a little help from his friends on there. Paul, George, John. I like Ringo's song, A Dose of Rock and Roll. He does a good cover of Hey Baby. I like the McCartney song Pure Gold. I'm trying to remember this. The song I'll Still Love You by George Harrison is good, although George sued Ringo because George didn't like the mix that was done here. Interesting. And he's got help from other people as well. I think Peter Frampton's on here. There's some good tracks on here, actually. I think it's an overlooked album that's gotten better. Now we go to number 8. Number 8 is the 1998 album Vertical Man. A lot of people really like Vertical Man, and so do I. I really wish that this album, along with some others that is still not out, would come out on vinyl. We're supposed to get Ringo Rama on vinyl very soon after a long time not seeing that. So what can I say now about Vertical Man? I love the song La Di Da. Well, I don't care. Silly it may be, that's Ringo, the happy-go-lucky Ringo. Love La Di Da. I think La Di Da would have been a really big, successful single had it been released in the mid-70s, to tell you the truth. There's a cover of Drift Away that's got a lot of guest stars on it. That's quite good. I know there's a lot of them, but I'm drawing blanks here. King of Broken Hearts, George Harrison. That's a pretty good one. I'm missing a lot of them. Oh, wow. Ooh-wee. Anyway, that's Vertical Man, number 8. Let's go to number 7. This is an album that I think gets overlooked, too. 2010. This is the album Why Not. Again, very good album for Ringo in the 21st century. Um, it's got Everyone Wins on it, which is very good. It's got a song with Paul McCartney. They sing a duet called Walk With You. And I think Walk With You is a beautiful pairing of the two of them, Paul and Ringo together. Um, I like the feel of the whole album. There's a good song on here, The Other Side of Liverpool, which I like. Um, oh, Peace Dream. Love Peace Dream. I love the vibe to that. Paul McCartney is on bass. And that's some of the tracks that I like. I know I'm missing some good ones on here, but from memory, this isn't too bad. You got to admit. All right. Let's now go to number 6. Number 6, this album, it's funny because I had this album number 3 at one point, and I haven't heard it in a long time. Maybe if I listen to it again, it would go back up to 3. Right now at number 6, I have the 2019 album, just before COVID hit. I always think of this album as the last album before the COVID era. It's a shame what COVID's done to us. And that's 2019's What's My Name. Some really good songs on this album. Thank God for Music. Let's see. Better Days. I love the song Better Days. The title track, What's My Name, that's probably my least favorite track on it. There's another song with Joe Walsh that's kind of a gag song called Gotta Get Up to Get Down. That's a lot of fun. I like the song It's Not Love That You Want. I love that song. It's not love that you want, but it's love that you need. That's one of my favorite. That may be close to my favorite track on the album. There's also a cover song Ringo does of John's song Grow Old With Me. That's a good rendition. It's perfect for Ringo. Yeah, I think that What's My Name is an album that should be investigated again. Well, now I'm into the top 5. With Ringo, it wasn't too hard to come up with a top 5. I almost had What's My Name in the top 5. Number 5, I went with Goodnight Vienna, the 1974 album that's a follow-up to Ringo's 73 self-titled work. Goodnight Vienna, very easily, people put it usually number 2 or 3. I have it down at 5, but it's in the top 5 for sure. Goodnight Vienna has Ringo doing Only You, which is a cover version of the Platters song, beautiful version from Ringo. It's got Snookeroo on there, the Elton John song. Snookeroo is fantastic. It's got the No-No song. The No-No song is kind of Ringo's trademark these days. But the thing, and Goodnight Vienna, I should say, the title track written by John is fun too. Goodnight Vienna and Goodnight Vienna Reprise. Both of those are good. The thing is, to me, there's some stuff on here that misses the mark. And I think that's the problem. There's some strong tracks on here, but the reason I never put it number 2 or 3 is because there's too much fillerish stuff on there. All right, number 4. Now, I don't know. This divides people, number 4, but I love it. It's 1981's album, Stop and Smell the Roses. Stop and Smell the Roses from 1981. This is the first album after John's death. John Lennon was supposed to appear on this album. He probably was going to give Ringo a song called Life Begins at 40. But John was taken from us and Ringo did it without John. But we have Paul offering a couple of tracks, Private Property, and also the song Attention. We have George, who helped out by writing the song Rack My Brain. Great single that should have did better. Rack My Brain is a terrific single. You have Harry Nilsson writing Drumming Is My Madness, which is Ringo being completely bizarre and funny the way we love it. The title track, Stop and Take the Time to Smell the Roses, is, again, it's a tongue-in-cheek, funny song. And if you see the video to the song Stop and Smell the Roses, I think you'll enjoy it. It's Ringo really just having a laugh. I love that track. Dead Giveaway. I love the song Dead Giveaway on here. I love the version of, let's see, You Belong to Me, which is I like it better than the original. The original song You Belong to Me is very slow. This one's more pepped up, and I like it. There's a song called Nice Way, a Stephen Stills song. This is good pretty much all the way through for me, except the last track. the last track, Back Off Boogaloo remake, which is kind of not too much fun. Okay, now we're going to go to number three. Now, here's an interesting thing. Number three used to be number two. It's not it's not number two anymore, although it could be. Really hard. But today, for this occasion, I have it at three, and that is the 1992 comeback album, and it is a comeback for Ringo. Time Takes Time. Time Takes Time. If there's one album you have not heard by Ringo Starr that you need to listen to, it would be Time Takes Time. Time Takes Time. I hate to say this because I don't like using this as an excuse to listen to Ringo, but for a lot of people out there, it's very Beatle-y. It's got a Beatle flavor to a lot of the tracks. And Ringo's single, the first one, Weight of the World. What a comeback song. If that had been released any other time earlier, before the 80s even, maybe even the early 80s, 81 or 2, it would have been a big hit. Weight of the World is a great comeback song. I love the song Don't Go Where the Road Don't Go. The whole album is a knockout. So I'm going with Time Takes Time as number three. It's a must. This is a must album for Ringo fans. Now we go to number two. That's Ringo's most recent album, released this year. That's right. Ringo has all these albums, but the album released here in January, Look Up, Ringo's country flavored album. Some people are, kind of nitpicking, saying, it's not really 100% true country. It's country enough, but yet it's also poppy enough. It sounds like a little rock, a little pop, a little country. This is Ringo's most consistent album, maybe since the album I have at number one. Look Up is great from the first track to the last. The work that he did with T-Bone Burnett and all the singers with him, like Molly Tuttle, that helps out, and all the female accompanying vocalists. I'm forgetting all the names now because it's been a while. Oh, wow. Is it Johnny Strings? I'm making a mistake here. I don't know. But because if you want to check out my review, I rave about this album. I love it. Look Up is not only one of Ringo's best albums, it is arguably, and I'll make that argument, one of the best of all solo Beatles albums. Top 10 of all solo Beatles albums. Look Up. Number one, still the champ. Number one is the 1973 self-titled Ringo album. It's got Photograph on it. It's got You're 16 on it. It's got Oh My My on it. It's got John Lennon's I'm the Greatest. It's got Paul McCartney's 6 O'Clock. It's good all the way through. Sunshine Life for Me, Sail Away Raymond. Just naming tracks isn't what this is all about. You have to listen to it. It's Ringo at his peak. Ringo was really at his peak from 1970, really. 71 with it Don't Come Easy. It's 1972, he did Back Off Boogaloo. In 73, this album, the self-titled Ringo album is the only solo Beatle album to have two number one hits on it. That's a little fun fact. The song You're 16 got to number one, and the song Photograph got to number one. No other solo Beatle album, not even Paul McCartney, can claim that. Now we're going to go to the EPs, and I'm going to knock them off very quickly because I want to keep this under a half an hour, or no more than a half an hour. 5 EPs released by Ringo after COVID. Number 5, bringing up the rear, is going to be disagreed on by a lot of people. It's Crooked Boy. Crooked Boy, his most recent one. I'm not going to name tracks. I just feel like the material on there is not really that strong. I just don't think it's that strong. I like February Sky is my favorite track off that. Number 4, Change the World. Same thing. I think it's a kind of, it's a weaker EP. That's the only reason I have it number 4. I don't even like the song Change the World. It sounds like cookie cutter, run-of-the-mill Ringo. Number 3, Rewind Forward. Rewind Forward has a really good song that Paul sings on with him. Feeling the Sunlight, I think it's called. Feeling the Sunlight? And I'm drawing a blank now. They all run together in my mind, these EPs. I remember that I like this one. There was a rocker on there that you'll remind me of that I forget the name of that I like. I'm trying to rush this fast. Number 2, I'm going to go with it's a lousy title, unimaginative. EP3. EP3. There's a really good jazzy song on here. Oh, free your soul. I just remember this one has a lot of most of the tracks I like on this one. But I know that this order that I'm giving you, even if I can't remember the particulars, I know this order is definitely my order in my head. And number one, the best one is the first one, I think. Zoom In. Zoom In was the first one. Here's to the Nights. I still say the song Here's to the Nights could have been a really big single for New Year's Eve if they would have promoted it right. It has a lot of guest stars on it. It's like let's raise a glass and toast. Here's to the night. It's a really good New Year's Eve song if they would have promoted it that way. And I remember liking that song. I don't know if it's called Zoom In, Zoom Out, but I like that song. I liked, and there was another oh reggae-ish song on this one that I liked as well. I think, but I forget the name of it. But all I know is I remember liking every song pretty much off the Zoom In one. Anyway, I'm sorry I rushed through those EPs, but at least they're represented. So again, a happy birthday to Mr. Ringo Starr, and a lot of people are going to see him because he's still touring. You believe this? Take care, folks.